You've waited a lifetime to look better and feel better, and now here's your chance. Fitness Friday on WNDB. Call 239-0033 and have your questions answered on health, fitness, and a better life. Fitness Friday is brought to you by Bodez by Tasso & Company, 1140 West Granada Boulevard in Ormond Beach. And now, here's your host, Tasso Kyriakis.
All right, welcome to Fitness Friday, sponsored by Bodez by Tasso & Company Personalized Fitness and the Take It Off 180 program, the new weight loss program that we've, the remodeled, redesigned program that we've put together. You know, everything builds on past success, Dave, and you know, the history of success of weight loss at Bodez has taken a sort of neat journey over the years. And you know, you sit and you do things. And I'm going to tell you a little story in a minute about the next realm of this that I'm going to look into as I've discovered things. But you know, we look at it, and just so people who don't know the history of Bodez, in about 1986, 87, I had a lot of members at Omega 40 when I was running the Knowledge Fitness Center that came to me and said, "Hey, we want to lose 10 or 15 pounds. How do we lose it?" And at that time, a guy named Ellington Darden was writing a book called The Knowledge Diet. And I called Ellington because he was a research director for Knowledge Sports Medicine. I said, "Do you have anything diet-wise that people can do to lose weight?" And he says, "Well, I don't have anything formal at this point, but I'm actually writing my next book. It's called The Knowledge Diet." And he said, "And we're trying to get like really good food that people will eat, and we're trying to organize it. And the way it was organized was that it told you what to eat day by day. It told you how to cook it, and it gave you a recipe. It gave you the recipes, and it gave you a shopping list." Right. And Ellington has followed that success formula for about all of his books that he's written that cross over into fitness and diet. So we received basically chapter by chapter in manuscript form. We received the diet, and we did it with 25 people who got tremendous results. We had weekly. We had an education system on it that we talked to them about what was going to happen the next week, and it was a fairly simple process. Here's your book. Go home and eat these foods. Show up 3 times a week and work as hard as you can for 20 minutes. And if you have any energy left, do 12 to 15 minutes of cardiovascular work. And that format followed to get those 23 of those 25 people great results. And we found over time that those people lost the weight, and very few of them, you know, about the same numbers as we always see. About at 3 years, everybody, 95% of the people gained back their weight, and we knew that there was an issue there. And but it had worked very well. It was good food. There was no one skipping food. There was no one skipping meals. So then we looked at it from the perspective of saying, okay, well, you know what? Let's do next is let's look at how we get people to last more than 3 years, because we knew statistically they kept it off 2 years. They were going to, and they stayed at their goal weight, they were going to make it. You know, that's what we knew from statistics. So over the next 10 years, we did a lot of experimenting. And in the year 2000, we introduced the Healthy Inspirations program, which showed, changed a little bit. It said, listen, here's how you eat. Here's the groups you get to pick your food out of, and on health, what we called healthy starches, occasional starches, and limited starches. And that was the same way for the proteins and that. So that program worked really well for about 8 years, and then people sort of, culture changed again, so we went looking again. And so now what we have is really a 3-tiered approach to weight loss. Number one is people walk in the door and say, "I just got to lose the weight. I don't want to cook." We have Take Shape for Life, which is a wonderful program. We've had about 11 people be very successful in that program. Not big numbers, because we don't push that program, but it's been the people who had very special cases. They said, "Listen, you know what? I've tried everything. I can't lose weight. My schedule doesn't allow me. My job does this to me," you know. And so we've worked with them, and they've been successful as a result. Then what we did is the second phase, and the natural phase is you lost your weight on Take Shape for Life. You would move to the next phase, which was the Healthy Inspiration style of eating. Well, the Healthy Inspiration style of eating now is called Take It Off, and Take It Off is a program that is similar in that you're eating 4 meals a day that you prepare. You're choosing from columns that we have a stoplight system, a red, green, yellow. You know, green, eat it any time. Yellow, eat it with caution. Red, rarely eat it, but you can eat it. So that is now what we're using. We've made one other change in it, that we've gone to the Shackley products, because they have no preservatives in them. They have no artificial flavors. We still have our health-wise bars and that for snacks to be used, but we have this. We think the healthy alternative, because really, the last 18 months has been a great awareness for me, Dave, in regards to diet, especially. I've been a little more ardent about. I've always fasted for religious reasons, but in the last 18 months, I began to experiment with fasting from a standpoint of health and the benefits, and studying what intermittent fasting did to the body from the standpoint. And it's interesting because as we approach Lent in 2013, I'm actually going to make a presentation at our church about not only the spiritual benefits that we should be very aware of as Christians, but then I'm going to look at it from the standpoint of here's the health benefits, and the health benefits run just they're enormous, the things I've seen. So as I was telling you off air, I've had for people that know my family, and a lot of people are connected to my family through this radio show. My mom is in hospice now, and we're expecting the inevitable soon. And but I don't think I could have gone through the last 11, 12 days of my life if I was trying to eat in a normal run out and grab something to eat kind of situation. I've been using a fast called the Daniel fast, and really basically I ate nuts, seeds, figs, dates, that type of food, and water. And then when I broke the fast, I was eating basically vegetables, steamed vegetables. Last night I had my protein was I did have some red meat last night to break my fast. But I will tell you the things that I've noticed in that 10 days. I noticed I had to handle a lot of decisions, coordinate a lot of things. I had a business to run and that. And the reason I got into this Daniel diet was there's a guy named Jordan Rubin who founded a company called Beyond Organic, and Jordan has been part of with Dr. Daniel Pompa on my roundtable, really making me aware of the quality of the food we eat, and probably has put me on a better plane with Jim that always calls a show that's a lot of people think Jim is off his rocker because he's so meticulous about all the things he says, and people say he's a conspiracy theorist or something like that. Well, there's an awful lot to what he's saying, and we look at it's getting more and more documented about the quality of the food, air, and water that we breathe, eat, and intake. And so, it's created a large awareness for me. And so, but I want to tell you that in the fast, I've done 3-day fasts, I've done 4-day fasts, and now I've done a 10-day fast. And this is all consistent, although I never thought it in these terms when I would do my Lenten fast, and I would do 40 days of fasting where I didn't have anything that came from a bleeding animal. Now, fasting can mean several things. Fasting can mean that you just take in water. Fasting can mean like the one of the fasts I did, which was just whey water, which was healing water, as it was termed by Hippocrates, and it helped balance out your electrolyte balance. And then there's fasting where you eat limited foods. There's fasting where you eat at limited times of the day. And the fast I did was I really was a lacto-ovo vegetarian. There was no dairy products or anything. Well, I would tell you that the first thing I noticed is that joint pain I had from inflammation was completely gone. I mean,
that's something I deal with as joint
yeah,
pain.
and all of us deal with it because we're in a stressful situation. Now think about this: I'm in a stressful situation, but I'm maybe one of the highest stress levels you can be in running a business and taking care of your parent. But I'm not in the middle of it. I'm not having flare-ups. Normally if I had this situation when I went to work out, I'd complain about my knees on the leg extension or something like that. Really, none of those complaints. Maybe complain I was a little tired, from not getting a lot of sleep. But quality of my sleep was much better. Mm-hmm. And you would think with being around as many people as I'm around in the club business and everything I do, is I'd probably been a lot higher suspect to have gotten sick, because there's an awful lot of sick people around me. Have not gotten sick from that standpoint, So I think there's an awful lot of merit to our immune system, to our joints, to our mental acuity that comes out of fasting, and I'm going to cover it as we approach Lent. So Jordan Rubin is the author of a book called The Maker's Diet, and he's had a couple other the raw diet he's written. So I've consulted with Jordan, and I did some things a little bit differently. I took my first 6 hours of the day that I was up and waking and going, and I was fasting. I didn't take my first meal till 12:30 in the day, and then I ate over the next 6 to 8 hours. I ate my other 2 meals and my snacks. So I consumed my food in a 6 to 8 hour period of time, and what this did for me is it allowed my body to be where it didn't have a big energy drain in digesting food. Now contrast to what we teach in all of our weight loss programs. In all of our weight loss programs, we teach to eat in small increments, less than 300 calories, and to do that every 2.5 to 3 hours. Now, I'm still an advocate of that. I'm not convinced that's the pony to give up in this chase that we got going on. So it's worked very successfully, but I find it very difficult for people to eat like that. So a lot of times, so the way it was explained is that we have this 16 to 18 hour period, depending on what time period we eat in, that we really have a cleansing situation going on for the body. And then there is the days that are truly strict fast, where we're using the whey water or we're only using certain foods. And on those days, we follow the same kind of regimen. Well, to this point, I have to tell you that I'm really encouraged that, in 10 days, I lost 12 pounds. Now, people say, well, that's just because you were stressed out. But I tend to be a stress eater. I tend to be one of the people that when you stress out, you go to the refrigerator. Some people, when you stress out, they lose weight. I stress out, I gain weight, as was exemplified by what I've gone through in the last 3 or 4 months taking care of my mom. Is that it was grab and go and whatever there was available. So, by eliminating the grains I eliminated and things like that, I saw the change in the energy level. So I'm working now to bring Jordan Rubin on the radio show with us to talk about the logic behind this. And again, I'm not ready to give up that what has worked so well. I'm open-minded enough to look and see and say, hey, listen, what can we work with from that standpoint, and how do you modify, and is it just a selection of foods? And I realize a lot of people aren't going to do that, but that brings in the third tier of the eating, the way I think that we really conquer the obesity crisis. Earlier in the show, I outlined the first 2 steps. As number one, there's people who are going to come in and say, I don't want to cook, I can't cook, I'm too busy, whatever it is. And those are the people that will go to your metabolic research, they go to your diet center, they go to Nutrisystems, they go to Jenny Craig as alternatives. Why offer another alternative called Take Shape for Life? It's a MetaFast program. Now, do I agree 100% that is the lifestyle you want to have? Absolutely not, but it is a tool to get us to the lifestyle we want. It's a tool that helps us change mentality, because everything that happens in that Take Shape for Life eating program, whether you're eating those MetaFast meals or you're eating your lean and green, we call it, because you're eating one of those days where you prepare a regular meal, and on workout days you actually have 2. Well, everything is consistent at doing to the body what we want to do, keeping the calories low, not getting too many simple carbohydrates, not too many refined sugars or salts or anything like that. So you're getting that into your system so that your body can adapt. And your receptor sites at the cellular level, as Dr. Pompa has talked to us on this radio show about, can now be activated, and we become hormone sensitive. In that 12 days, even though I was taking in 1,400 calories a day and what I was doing, I was losing weight a lot. There's no way my basal metabolic rate is that high with 12 or 1,400 calories being taken in today that I'm having 2 pounds. Think about it. That's 7,000 calorie a day deficit to lose. I actually lost about 1.2 pounds a day. So I was creating a deficit of close to 5,000 calories a day. There's no way I was doing that. But when you choose foods that cause thermic things to happen in the body, and that was the reason for the nuts and the seeds and the berries and that type of thing, and keeping the sugar out by not drinking my favorite drink of a sweet tea. So I think that there's an awful lot of merit to it. But again, the goal of the Take Shape for Life program is to do the same thing through the foods they give you. Their foods are a little heavier in the protein, but the percentage is about the same. And so we see that we have success as we go through. The Take It Off program does the exact same thing. It brings some of the carbs back in that we enjoy so much. Well, now the third tier of this is to look at the paleonthoic eating style, to look at raw and live food type of eating, and say, let's look at these alternative lifestyles and let's see how we can utilize them in order to eat properly in our everyday life. So that's the aspect of it that I really have enjoyed researching, and I'm sort of using myself as a guinea pig, because I think I see people who are living these great qualities of life that are eating in that manner. I don't know how easy it's going to be to buy in to tell someone to eat all your meals in a 6 or 8 period. I still like this idea that when I get up in the morning, I'm gonna get a good breakfast in me, and that's how I'm eating today. Today I got up this morning. It was 5:30. I had a 100-calorie snack just to get my day started because I had some hectic things to do. Just before I came into the radio show here, I had some Greek yogurt with some berries and strawberries and a little honey and some fiber in it. And then this afternoon I'll probably go to Hull's, the Jimmy Hull, and have a piece of fish. So broiled, yes. I'm gonna have fried fish another day. So, but and last night I had sort of my quote unquote my cheat night, if you can ever imagine something like that. I had Outback. So, I want to build. I'm constantly trying. And I have the courage to tell you this thing because I think that's what courage is. It means you keep working on a challenge until you and finding solutions, and no problem's too difficult to get through solutions. So I'm trying to say focused, even though it's a stressful time, stay focused on the goal that I have to 2013 is to give people an easier, healthier lifestyle to follow in their eating habits. Imagine you could find a way that just a handful of food makes up one of your snacks. It would make things so much easier. And we're in the aspect of it that we want to put the balance in people's lives. There's 8 things that people really want in life. And I've said this before in the radio show. I said they want balance. They want there to be balance in their recreational, their social, their love life, their workout life, their work life. And by balance, they're going to have happiness. I want them to have happiness. They want to have an intelligence to what they're doing. Mm-hmm. They want to have a reason. One of the reasons I have this radio show is I can say, look, here's what I'm looking at, and here's the intelligence behind it. Here's the research. Why do I believe so strongly in the knowledge training principles? Why do I believe in my medics equipment so much? Because yesterday I had a lady that brought her 91-year-old mother in. And her 91-year-old mother has broken her hip and had hip replacement surgery. And they're concerned about having, this lady is not going to go do a Zumba class. But she at 91 and the daughter at 60-something, 70 can benefit from strength training. Now, that's not their perception at this point. Their perception is hey, listen, I want to get involved in a program that makes me feel better. So we have to give them the intelligence. Then by gaining the intelligence and make decisions, they're going to give them health. And when they're healthy, they're going to enjoy these honest and real relationships that they have in their life. And from there, they can make an honorable income. They can believe in hope and peace and that type of thing. And then they can have a highly rewarding. I think my occupation is highly rewarding. Because I get to do what I enjoy doing. I get to do what I think I am called to do. Because of whatever reason, I wasn't called to be a pastor. There's a lot of people that I even say those words, and they'd shrill up. What him doing? But what I was called to do is to help people, and I enjoy helping people. But bigger than that, I'm not helping people. I'm helping people help themselves, because I can't do it for you. I've tried that road for too many years in this industry of caring so much about people. I'd get worried sick, and I'd take it personally if they didn't get results. Well, what I provide for you, and make no bones about it, I provide a solution for you. And my staff and my team and I will sit there and we'll support your efforts to that. But when people sometimes don't have the courage. They don't have the courage to stick with the challenges that they have in front of them to be successful. I learned something from my mom. You reminisce on things you learned from your mom, and I learned. I said, and here it is. It's basically in my words. It's sort of like this. I don't like work, but I like what work does. Work gives me a chance to find myself, to find my own reality, to find what I can accomplish. And I find it for what's in myself and not for others. And so that's where the part comes in, that I'll supply the opportunity to be successful. And so you can't know what you can accomplish if you don't have work or you don't have challenge. So those are the things that I think are so important towards moving in the right direction, towards success, and whether it be your fitness goals or your life or whatever. So when we look at this, I sat and I talked with this lady, and here she brings her 91-year-old mother in. And her 91-year-old mother basically wants a stretch and flex class. And my response to the stretch and flex class is this, that's great. But you know what? Being inflexible is a manifestation of being weak. If a muscle is weak, it does not have flexibility. It cannot have full range of motion because it's going to protect itself based on what a strength curve is. So if I get you stronger, you're going, today when I go back, I will work out an 84-year-old man. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm going to work out that 84-year-old man differently than I'm going to work out the young man I'm training for the NFL Combine at 4:30. Okay, the 84-year-old man, what am I working on? I'm working to get him strong and increase his range of motion. The 20-something-year-old has great range of motion. Mm-hmm. I need to work him getting him strong and greater endurance and better speed for when he runs. So I have to understand what his medical history is. I have to understand what his abilities are. So when we work from that standpoint, we work to personalize the program. And that's what makes Bodez different. Right now there's a promotion going on at Bodez. It's $13 down, $13 a month for your first 3 months, and then choose what membership you want. Okay? So what happens is when you come in, whether you come into one-on-one or whether you come into the Body Coach membership, your experience is this. We're going to start you with just a small amount of exercises. Why? We want to teach you the culture. We want to teach you how to exercise properly first. Then what occurs is we begin to add the machines that begin to bring more challenge and more results because the body must be challenged. Remember that first thing I said about work there a moment ago is that without work, you can't find out what you can become. But as you work, you accept that challenge and you move and you work harder and you get to the point where you do much better and you can accomplish more and have a greater quality to your life as a result of the work. And so from what Bodez does, that is very different. We're not going to be, the other day there's a lady that came back from, a national brand that's $10 a month. And I guess I can say their name because I say their name in a good sense. I'll say it in this sense too. Came from Planet Fitness, one of the Planet Fitness operations. Now, this is nothing bad about Planet Fitness. They have great equipment. They did this. But here was why she came back. She had been with us for about 18 months, and in that 18 months, she'd lost about 65, 70 pounds. When her husband at one point said, the economy's bad, honey. I'm worried about my job. Let's go save some money. All right, that's a wise decision. He goes to save the money. She comes back and says, I want to come back. And here were the reasons why. Number one, I've gained my weight back because there's really no one there who's invested with me in my goals. The second thing she said is, when I come in this door, people call me by my name. They know what my mission is based on what the conversation they have with me and getting to know me. And I love that. And it was worth it for her to pay an extra $30 or $40 a month over that $10 to be a member because our Body Coach membership averages about $50 a month. But it gives you supervision. It gives you our SciFit system. Now, all that can start for you for $13 down and $13 a month for your first 3 months. And then you'll choose your payment plan. You'll choose if you want a no commitment, 12-month commitment, whatever you want. So 672-6464 is the number for that. We have Dr. Fahn's half hour coming up with his new poster child. Every month we get a new poster child to come in and talk to us about their experience with acupuncture because we're trying to open people's minds. So where Dr. Fahn will try and open your mind and eyes in the next half hour about being open-minded to alternative care for your body, I'm going to try and open your mind to understanding the role of strength training as a core part of your program and strength training from the scientifically based principles of knowledge training principles. So 672-6464 is our number at Bodez. We're going to be back in 3 minutes after this break.
Morgan Stanley values long-term relationships with its clients, relationships spanning decades. I'm Paul Strong, Vice President of Morgan Stanley's Ormond Beach office. We know that building relationships begins with getting to know each of our clients. That's because each investor has different goals, from planning for retirement to saving for a child's education. Let me, Paul Strong, help you create a personal investment strategy to help you meet your retirement, education, wealth transfer, and other financial needs. So call me, Paul Strong, at 615-3418. That's 615-3418. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley, LLC, member SIPC.
Depend on News Talk 1150 WNDB for news that's first, fast, and accurate.
Flu season underway across the nation, and Volusia County seeing its own high numbers. Volusia Health Department Chief Dr. Bonnie Sorensen.
Influenza and other viruses are all fairly unpredictable, so important that we all protect ourselves.
When news happens, we break in with the latest team coverage updates from Leslie Taylor and the WNDB News Team. News Talk 1150 WNDB. First in local news.
Are you afraid of the number 13? Are you afraid of being unhealthy, overweight, overtired, and just plain fat and worn out? Well, 13 is now your lucky number. Tasso here from Bodez Personalized Fitness in Ormond. That's right, $13 can change your health, energy, and body appearance. $13 starts your fitness membership and $13 a month for the first 3 months of your membership. We'll use our Smart Start Fitness program and our Fitness Passport to begin your program and set you on the path of better health, energy, and fitness. My Bodez team and I will coach you, assist you, and guide you to success. Call 672-6464. That's 672-6464 to set your no-obligation consultation. Remember, $13 down, $13 per month for the first 3 months to start your fitness journey. My staff and I are motivated and committed to you getting results. That's the difference you'll find from the moment you walk in our program and begin your journey. So call 672-6464 to start your fitness program with only $13 down and $13 a month for the first 3 months. And of course, all of our memberships have a 30-day money-back satisfaction guarantee. I'm going to pull this over onto you. All right. Well, welcome back to Fitness Friday, and as you know, every week we have Fawn's 5 Minutes, where Dr. Fawn calls in, and we try to promote you to open your mind to acupuncture care as an alternative care system in your health system, whether it's relieving pain, getting better range of motion, or in my case, Dr. Fawn, just relieving stress. Acupuncture offers you a great opportunity, and it's almost going, I think, on 3 years now that we've been trying to promote that to the community, to have an open-minded towards that. Now, some people come early in the game, and some people come a little later in the game. And so today our guest, as our